All right, hello everybody. This is Stephen Cooley with Mortgage Advisor Tools. I am here today with Bobby Palmer at Byte Software. How you doing, man?
Fantastic, Stephen. How you doing, man?
I'm doing really good. I'm glad you're able to come and hang out with us a little bit.
Happy
How's
to.
your year going so far?
It's fantastic. It's a big year for Byte, actually.
Awesome.
We're celebrating 40 years this year. We're rolling out
Whoa.
a fifth generation LOS, and yeah, so I guess you could say that's a pretty big year for us. So
That
yeah,
is a
good,
big
good things
year.
going on.
Well, for anybody that doesn't know, I mean, tell us a little bit about Byte.
Yeah. So, we're an enterprise class LOS platform. I mean, most people know what an LOS does.
Yep.
But I think that the best way to kind of describe Byte, because there's so many platforms out there and they're so different, I think the way we kind of differentiate is we like to say, and probably the number one reason our clients love us is that we let them do business the way they want to, right? We give them that freedom to do things the way they want to. And there's that old story about how if you ask lenders that go, how do you get from origination to closing, and you ask 300 different lenders, you get 300 different answers, or at
100%.
least slightly different answers. And so, we don't want them to have to change the way they want to do things to fit their LOS. It's configurable enough, it's flexible enough, they can do it the way they want. And really that comes from when I first joined Byte 5.5 years ago. First
Okay.
thing I did was I went and talked to the clients. I was like, what do you like about Byte? What do you not like? I wanted the
100%.
real answers. And that's what they said. That was the one consistent that I always heard was we can do it the way we want to. So that in a nutshell is kind of what makes Byte a little different.
No, it's very cool. So what is the massive, so you got the fifth generation coming out now. So what does that entail? Like what are the differences that people can experience?
Yeah, it's called Byte Web. It's our first browser-based version of Byte. Historically, Byte has been a PC client type of a platform, and so this is something brand new. It's got a new UI. It's mobile friendly. You can do it on your iPad, your Macs, your phones. You can take it with you, and so yeah, it's kind of a whole fresh new look for Byte. And so we just came out with it this year. Our current clients are playing around with it, and yeah, it really just kind of opens a lot of doors. It's one of those things where people really like the layout, the power that you can have with a PC client. One of the largest LOSs that kind of has the biggest market share is PC client.
Yeah, sure.
So we really kind of took our time building this one. I think the team's been working on it since before I was here. So let's say 6 or 7 years, because
Wow.
they didn't want our current clients to lose anything by switching, right? We could have built a browser-based LOS, but it would have been lacking in a lot of the features that our current clients like. So we
Mhm.
kind of took our time, built it in a way that they can switch over. It'll be seamless. They don't have to go through a re-implementation because you can work out of both platforms. They're both on the same database. So, like I said, that's kind of how Byte does things. We are very customer focused,
Right.
and we didn't want to put something out there that our current clients would be like, hey, like I can't do this like I could in PC client Byte. Why did you build it that way? So yeah, it's a browser version, but has all the bells and whistles that Byte has today.
Very cool. Well,
Yeah,
one of the fun parts of my gig is we nonstop get to see lots of new technologies hit the market.
yeah,
And so, and obviously the LOS is really the heart and soul of a mortgage company. I mean, you can't, it's very hard to function without it.
sure.
So I'm curious, like, what is your approach to integrations? You have all this new technology, all these new technologies coming out, different approaches, from verifications to secondary
Yeah.
to every part of the process is now getting a new almost like plugin or widget or something.
Yeah.
What's your guys' approach to integrations and how are you finding that partner landscape?
It's almost endless. Sometimes,
Yeah.
we're always getting calls from something new. But no, I mean, if I didn't mention it before, Byte's a very customer centric operation. So a lot of our development comes directly from things from our clients. Again, 4 decades of that kind of goes into the platform. And we take that same approach with integration. So it starts with our clients. What are they going to find useful? If we get something new, we're out there looking at new things. We're at conferences. We're always checking out what's new, but then we kind of run it through our client base. Like, hey, what do you guys think?
Right.
Is this going to bring a value to you, right? Because every organization, especially technology, we all have a set amount of development resources, right? And
Right.
so we want to get the biggest bang for our buck when we commit to do something like that. So that's kind of how we approach it. What's going to really drive our customers forward, knowing that that's going to apply to anyone else that comes to Byte as well too. So on that note, we are a best of breed model. So, which is a little different than some of the LOSs that are out there because our philosophy is that like we want to build the best core LOS that you can possibly have,
Okay.
right? That's our focus. There's so many vendors out there doing awesome things, right? Whether it's
Absolutely.
AI, automated verifications, I think you mentioned, CRMs, POSs. I mean,
Yep.
there's just so much. And so I don't know if one organization can compete, right? And really offer the best of tech to, somebody if you're trying to be everything to everyone.
Yeah.
So we say, hey, look, if you want to use this new platform that just came out that's kind of a game changer, great. We'll build an integration. You can use it. You don't have to go change your LOS because you have an all-in-one and you're kind of
Yeah.
stuck to use
Yeah.
whatever's new. So that's kind of our approach. The other thing I'll kind of throw on top of that is you only pay for what you use,
Yeah.
right? So um, we like say for example, we're coming out with a new pricing engine later this year. If you use it, great, right? That's
All
awesome.
right.
But if you don't use it, we're not going to charge you for it,
Love
right?
it.
So that's kind of how we handle integrations. We really want our clients to use what they want.
Perfect. No, it's yeah, there's just tons of stuff. It's yeah, it has to be
It's
like
like triage, man. You
yeah,
got
yeah,
you
yeah.
got to go through and really look at who is worth the time to continue building those
No,
things.
if I
But
blink and I don't keep my finger on the pulse of this, I mean, I miss like literally maybe 5 companies a month have,
yeah,
spin up. I mean, it's quite silly.
fast.
I'd probably be remiss if I didn't ask you a little bit about AI, and
Absolutely.
it's continuously gotten buzzy. Obviously, I think there's now for maybe the first time I would say a real push for automation.
Mhm.
Like I think for last year there was a desire from a vendor perspective for more automation because they were building it, but
Yeah.
now I see mortgage companies now searching for it a little bit more than they were in the past. It used to be my first guidance. It's like I know that you want to be ranked for mortgage automation, but nobody's looking for that. But now they really are. We're seeing that search increase quite a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, from an AI perspective, if you can, what's some of your tactics, or how are you implementing it, or planning to here in the future?
Yeah, I think there's kind of it's kind of a two-part answer for me would be one, building the new platform, the fifth gen platform, getting that kind of fully completed and out there and working. That's kind of now giving us a new base to then add new AI features into that. So that was kind of step one is
Yeah,
to
of
get
course.
that new platform ready because then you can kind of it's easier to add AI into a platform like that than it would be kind of the
See,
old legacy platform. So that was step one. Step two is going back to that best of breed model, right? Like we are not going to sit here and say we're going to be the best AI, builder in the world on top of being the best LOS. So,
right, right, right.
we're keeping the feelers out there. We're always talking to new vendors and seeing what they're doing. And, when you get that one that cracks that code, so to speak, I mean, there's some great ones out there already
Yeah,
that we're already either integrated with or talking with. But whenever that next big step happens, again, our clients can go take advantage of that. We can work with that company, build out the integration, and use those tools. Let our clients use those tools based on our foundation, like our core platform,
yeah,
rather than an LOS trying to build AI into their LOS, and you're kind of stuck with what they have, and then something new comes out that really, like I said, cracks that code wide open, and now
sure.
you're like, well, I want that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
well, it's a big deal to make a
yeah.
change to your
Yeah, yeah.
LOS, right? So that's kind of how we're approaching it is keeping our
Excellent.
finger on it, seeing who's doing what, and the ones that really work for our clients, we jump on it.
No, that's perfect. No, it's moving exceptionally
Every
fast.
day, something new.
It's starting to get there too. I mean, we're pretty deep into the AI abyss as well, and yeah, there's no doubt that no, they are starting to figure it out more than ever, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
very
getting
cool.
close.
You have anything coming up that you'd like to announce or keep people keen to that you'd like to chat about?
I think I might have slipped it in there earlier, but we are coming out later this year with Byte Price, which is our pricing engine.
Okay,
So
okay,
that's outside of our fifth gen Byte Web LOS platform. That's probably the next big thing that we spent a lot of
love it.
years working on. So pricing engine's coming out later this year. We've got a few other projects I can't quite talk about yet. So those are the
Yeah,
two that I can talk about.
right.
And then I'll throw one other one out there. We're actually starting a podcast. It's called Changing Circumstances. It's not going to be a Byte podcast because no one wants to hear about LOSs on a
Why
podcast.
not?
Uh, right. I don't want to talk about it. I want something more fun. Um, it's really going to be about the people in the mortgage industry and kind of hearing stories of the people, both with what they're doing within the mortgage industry, but more so kind of like just things in their lives.
Okay.
For me, it's all about well, you and I were talking about this before we started recording about like the connections that you have within a mortgage industry and how small of a world it is.
Oh yeah.
And I think there's a lot of stories there that could be really fascinating for people, especially when you go to a conference now. Maybe you know something about somebody that you didn't know before, and you can connect because this business is all about connections for me. So
Absolutely.
check it out. It should be coming out here in the next month or so. Changing circumstances. Keep an eye out for it.
Perfect. Well, I'll throw my hat in the ring if you need a guest. I'd love to participate in that. But man, it's a big deal. I really appreciate your support, and I'm glad we found some time today to do this. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. That was fun. Thanks.
Awesome. Check out Bobby Palmer and Byte on Mortgage Advisor Tools. Thank you so much.